Hi everyone, my name's Laura. I'm the Specky Seamstress. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my vlog that is part of the vlog tour for So Fruity, which is a challenge that Yvette has been running. She's at Blossom Sandwich on Instagram and she also runs Stash Hub, where every day throughout June, a vlogger is talking about their So Fruity plans or makes or anything fruity, I guess. And today I'm going to be talking about a make, an alteration, which is also kind of a make, and I have a plea for help because I have a fruity fabric that I've had in my stash for way too long and I don't know what to do with it, and I need some help deciding. So if we just tell you a little bit more about the challenge. So Yvette reached out to me and asked if I would like to sponsor the challenge through the business, which we are. So there's prizes up for grabs if you make something fruity in June and share it on Instagram on the reveal day, which is the last day of June, and tag Yvette in it. But you can go check out all the details on her page. Go check out all of the other vloggers that are taking part in the vlog tour, because there's been some really cool ones, things that have got me thinking about different patterns that I haven't tried before that I'd like to give it a go. And you know, that you might find some new vloggers as well, and also welcome if you haven't come here before and you're here because you are following the So Fruity tour. I hope you like it and stay. Is that too needy? I don't know. Anyway, if we crack on with the first So Fruity make, which is, oh, I dropped something, that's a good start, which is this shirt here that I made a few days ago now. Now, if you have followed this channel for a little while, you'll know that I've been on the hunt for a woven shirt pattern, or not necessarily shirt, but woven top, to wear with high-waisted stuff, skirts and trousers, and shorts, I suppose. But I had finally taken the plunge on the So Liberated Joni top, having bought loads of different patterns and not kind of committed to actually making any of them. And I made up a practice run and I really loved it, and I immediately made another one. And then I thought, well, that's kind of going to be what I make next as well, because I'm a little bit of a pattern repeater. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know that if a pattern grabs my attention, then I might end up with 5 or 10 in my wardrobe, and this is definitely a double figure pattern for me. Now I picked up this fabric from Flower and Bear, from Kaylee, and it's this fabric. It's got all of these monkeys on it, and there's I've got an overlocker thread loose on it. I'll have to cut that off. I'm terrible at that. And you can see it's got monkeys with a little banana and a Panama hat and a mango, and I'm pretty sure this is a papaya of some kind, but I'm not 100% sure. Now I'd been eyeing up this fabric from Kaylee for ages, but I knew that I wanted to make a shirt from it, and I didn't have a shirt pattern at the time. And then it went out of stock and one bolt end came back into stock, and I thought, I've just got to have it. It was 1m60, I think, but narrowish fabric because it's a quilting fabric, but beautiful. It's a Figo quilting fabric, which is kind of like shirting, to be honest. So I knew it was going to work for the pattern. And I made this up in like a morning. I made it up in like 2 hours, I think. I cut it out the night before because I wanted to see I wanted to see how much of it I had, but I was just quite excited about it, to be honest. I was excited to finally be making it. It's been in my stash for a little while now, not lots of time, and actually Kaylee is currently having a big sale on all of her quilt fabrics because she's decided to focus more on dressmaking fabrics going forward. If you're a newsletter subscriber, go check out your emails because there's an additional discount for 30% off. And she has the I want to call it cord, but it's not plain. She has the another fabric in this collection, which is just lots of bananas, and I'm really tempted to pick up some more, but I'm wondering how many fruity shirts are a thing, given that I'm currently wearing a banana shirt, which I'll be talking to you about next, whether I really need another banana shirt. But it is there amongst loads of other cool fabrics, and she has some other fruity fabrics as well. So if you're looking for a bargain, go check her out. But I made this up and I just kind of love it. I did something a little bit weird with the facings. I've made some pattern alterations to this for fit, and I have a feeling I've not transferred them properly over to the facings because the last two that I've made have been not perfect on the facings, but wearable and manageable. But what I did that was really cool on this is I added the new bias binding from the Specky Seamstress Bias Tape Appreciation Society boxes, which is one of our monthly subscription boxes. We thought that a fruity bias would be perfect for this month because we knew lots of people would be sewing fruity makes this month. And I wanted to try out putting bias into the neckline because this pattern is a camp collar. So it has a flat collar that you sew in between, you sandwich between the shirt and the facings, and then the lapel kind of comes out. It doesn't have a collar stand, and I wondered if you would get a better kind of flatter fit at the back neck if you had something a little bit more sturdy across the back. And because the bias tape stretches a little bit, you can stretch it round the curve of the back neckline. So I just sewed this on sort of almost, I mean, not appliqued, but like I just applied it on with a little bit of stretch. Didn't kind of sew it and fold it over like you normally would for bias tape. And it works really well. Now this time I left quite a big gap at the neckline, so you can see that there's a little gap where the the yoke fabric shows. The next one I made, I went a little bit higher up, a little bit closer to the seam allowance. But it also leaves a perfect place to put in a tag, a label. Unfortunately, I apparently don't know how to put things in the middle because this is very off-centre. But, you know, never mind. Apparently I got excited. I also am quite excited about the lining for this yoke because this is an old pillowcase of mine that I've had. I bought this duvet set when I first moved out of home. I think I had it when I was at uni. And I loved it, and it's a bit old and worn now, but I kept the pillowcase when we threw away the main duvet because I thought I would be able to make the most of it, and I really love it in this shirt yoke. It's kind of cool. I'm quite enjoying adding little contrast yokes at the minute. I'm just really into making my makes feel really special at the minute, and like I want to look at them in my wardrobe and they make me smile, and this definitely does that. But yes, so this bias, I had to use it really in my So Fruity make because I designed it and sell it and it's perfect. So I did that, and I thought because this was quite a subtle fruity make, although not that subtle because it is covered in monkeys, but subtly fruity, I thought adding a little bit more fruit into the insides would be really cool. So that's make number one. I make the size 22 in the Celebrated Joni top, and I've made the short sleeve version, the cropped version, which I find the perfect length. I'm so happy with it. And I have modded it a little bit. So I've had to lower the bust darts by a couple of inches. I've taken a wedge out horizontally across the upper kind of bust area and also vertically, which is not like an official pattern alteration, but is something that seems to be fairly common for me. I think I'm quite kind of hollow chested, I guess. So I've made those alterations, and also the sleeve pattern, I haven't even read the instructions for the sleeves, which is a bit bad given that the first shirt I made I totally mucked up the collar instructions and ended up having to kind of wing it a little bit. So I did go back and read them properly for the next one, but I didn't read the sleeve instructions. The sleeve pattern piece is really long and I have not cut it the length that it needs to be for any of the 4 that I've made now. Yeah, it's 4. Because I cut the short sleeve on one of the fold lines. I think it's got like a turn up collar, like turn up cuff of some kind. But I cut this probably half the length of the sleeve that it would be, and I can fold it up twice and it's still a really nice length. This one's actually folded up 3 times from that length. So I think one of the reasons the pattern says it needs so much fabric is because the sleeve pattern is really long, even the short sleeve one. And I actually, the first one I made, I got out of 1.5 meters of narrow fabric, like quilting fabric, that had already had some pieces cut out of it for something else. And the next one I made from 1 meter of dressmaking with fabric. So the pattern lies about how much you need if you're prepared to have, you know, mix and match facings and inner yokes. So yeah. Also, this is the first one of the 3 that I had made to date, like when I was making this, that I actually had enough fabric of to make the facings the same fabric, because obviously you need the facing to be the same fabric in the collar piece, but all of the rest of mine had like a seam literally right here with something else underneath because I didn't have enough fabric. So I had enough fabric for this one, and I cut out one, absolutely fine. Well, actually no, that's a lie. Basically both of them have a tiny seam here because I somehow cut the facings like 1 inch short, and I had to have a tiny extra bit of fabric sewn on at the bottom before doing the turn up for the hem, which is stupid. But anyway, very, very happy. I love this make. You're going to see it a lot on my channel if you tune back in. It has gentle princess seams in the back for a little bit of shaping. It has a beautiful split hem, which makes it really great for tucking in. A really nice bust dart. And yeah, just love it. Love the fit of the sleeves. Gonna be regular in my wardrobe. And then I made another one because I had been sitting on this pattern alteration for quite a long time, or pattern alteration, like fix to, I had basically upcycle might be the word I'm looking for. I had made a pair of dungarees back in 2022, just after my first son was born, in a beautiful banana fabric, which I am now wearing as a shirt. And I wanted to love them. I wanted to be the mum that wore banana dungarees, but I never ever wore them after I made them and took photos. And I was so gutted about it because I love the pattern and I love the fabric, but it just didn't work in the way that I wanted it to. And I was so upset because this fabric came from Sew Me Sunshine. It was a dead stock, I think. There was really limited amounts of it. I took the plunge and bought 2 meters of it. I had envisaged a dress but had never got round to it, made the dungarees, and then it just sat at the bottom of my wardrobe really unloved. And I didn't really know what I was going to be able to get out of them. I had sort of resigned myself to making a pair of summer shorts, which was fine, but it seems a bit of a waste out of buying 2 meters of really gorgeous fabric. But then I decided I would see whether I could squeeze this shirt pattern from them. And I did. And I'm so surprised because it's just 2 pairs of, 2 legs, 1 pair of legs, because I didn't get anything from the bib, I don't think. Or maybe I got the yoke, one of the yokes from the bib, but I couldn't believe it that I managed to get all of this out of old dungarees. I was so pleased because will get wear in my wardrobe, and even though it is a bit of a crazy Hawaiian top, I just absolutely love it. Again, super quick make. My last one I added buttons from a vintage stash that I bought at a jumble sale. This one I decided to add my Pigeon Wishes pink buttons to. These were actually sent to me by mistake when I put in another order a couple of years ago, and I don't wear a lot of pink, so they've been sat kind of waiting for a project, but I thought they worked really well with this. This fabric is much like looser fit and drapier than the other 3 that I've made of this top now, and I found that the sleeves were a little bit too loose, like too loose fit, so I've folded them up once more to make them a little bit shorter, which I think works a bit better, but something for me to note next time round. But yeah, I'm just super excited that I've got a banana shirt in my wardrobe. This is going to be so much fun to wear with little denim shorts, which probably means I need to make some little denim shorts when we go on holiday later on in the year. But yes, really, really super happy with it. Yes, my husband, who had encouraged me to make banana trousers from the dungarees about a minute after I decided to cut it up and make it as a shirt, which threw me out by another like 3 days of procrastination and confusion, said, oh well, that's really quite out there, isn't it? I was like, but you wanted me to make this into trousers. Should have been way more out there. But anyway, never mind. He was wrong. Shirts are great. So I've now got 2 So Fruity shirts, which might be a little bit boring of a video, so apologies on that front. But I want to come on to the plea that I have, which is this fabric, which I bought from an Instagram stories like sale that Textile Express were having, and it's an upholstery fabric, and it has loads of animals on it, and then pineapples. I don't know why there's pineapples on it. They don't really go with the animals. Monkeys probably do eat pineapples, but they're not known for eating pineapples. It's reversible. On the other side, it's like the opposite. It's a fairly heavy weight, and it's awesome, but I just have no idea what to make with it. I bought it thinking I would make myself a pair of, was it a pinafore? Yeah, I bought it thinking I would make a pinafore dress from it, but I'm not entirely sure I would wear it. Does it need to become some kind of dramatic skirt? Does it need to just be moved on from my wardrobe into something like either I donate it or I turn it into cushions or what, basically? Because I kind of feel like it's too nice to turn into something for the house. Also, it's not really our style in terms of like household decor, but it's awesome. I have 1.5 meters and it's probably 1.40 meters wide, I would say, from a guess. I think it cost me a tenner, and I just don't know what to make with it. It's like flocked, sort of, yeah, slightly flocked fabric. And it's got zebras and monkeys and elephants and flamingos and giraffes and parrots and butterflies and pineapples. So help me. This is my plea. What do I make with it? Because I'm just not quite sure. It's a very distinct pattern, so it would have to be something quite big. I did think about making this into the Pogonip from Friday Patterns Company, the pullover, because it would be quite cool as like a big chunky jumper. And I do have a really cool LB pullover from Paper Theory in a similar weight kind of upholstery fabric that has bananas on it, actually. So clearly fruity is the way to go for that kind of style. And it would be like a bit of an outerwear jumper, I suppose, like a bit more somewhere between a jumper and a coat. That might be the way forward, but I would really welcome your ideas, because I love it, but I haven't used it in like 5 years, and it probably either needs to be made or moved on. Anyway, they're my 2 fruity makes: a new make, an alteration, and a plea for help. And I'm looking forward to watching all of the other videos that are still to go in the rest of the month. So check out, I will put down the schedule down below with links to everybody's channels. And then I am going to be filming a bit of a bumper catch up, because I've missed a couple of Friday Sews videos, and then I filmed a video and I had technical difficulties and I'm a bit fed up with it. So I'm going to film a bit of a bumper catch up, probably in a couple of parts, with fabric and makes and plans. So keep an eye out on my channel if you're interested in that. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye!